Welcome back to the GREP News Podcast. I'm Bam Rather, and our show today is about America's mounting debt crisis and the dangerous divisions that could tear our nation apart. Let me walk you through what we found buried in the latest economic forecasts. And I promise you, this isn't your typical doom-scrolling material. The debt-to-GDP ratio sits at 125%. That number should make your stomach drop, because according to Ray Dalio, the billionaire who called the financial crisis before anyone wanted to listen, we're not just looking at economic turbulence ahead. We're staring down what he calls serious internal conflict of some sort. Now, here's what caught my attention in the documents. Dalio isn't talking about traditional battlefields. He's describing something more insidious. Quote, "We're in multiple conflicts. There is a financial, money conflict. There's a technology conflict. There's geopolitical tensions, and there are more military disputes. And so we have serious internal divisions of some sort, which are developing in the US and elsewhere, where there are irreconcilable differences. The question isn't whether America feels divided. 80% of us already know that, according to Gallup. The real question, the question that should keep us awake at night, is whether we understand what happens when that division meets fiscal reality. And that's when I realized we need to talk about plaque. Dalio uses this medical metaphor that's almost too perfect. When debt and debt service rise relative to your income, it's like plaque in the arteries that then begins to squeeze out the spending. Your government's arteries are clogging, while two sides of the country prepare for what he calls tests of power. More after our break.
My name is Tom Sachs. I'm an artist in New York City. For nearly 2 decades, I have been collaborating with Nike.
Nike running is for runners. Nike basketball is for basketball. Nike craft is for everyone else.
I've been digging through Bridgewater's historical analysis, and if you know anything about pattern recognition in economic collapse, you'll understand why this matters. Nations don't collapse from single events. They fracture from compound stress of unsustainable debt, meeting irreconcilable political differences. Rome, Weimar Germany, the list reads like a cautionary tale we're apparently determined to repeat. But here's where this gets personal for our generation. We're inheriting this debt situation while watching our institutions crack under pressure. Speaking of institutional pressure, MIT just became the first university to tell recent federal compliance demands to take a hike. President Sally Kornbluth essentially said, "Thanks, but we already exceed your standards." It's a fascinating counterpoint. While Dalio warns about fracturing institutions, MIT demonstrates what institutional backbone looks like. The beautiful irony here? Both stories reveal the same underlying tension. Who gets to define standards? Who holds real power? And what happens when different power centers refuse to bend? Dalio offers us 2 futures. Either we find common ground to preserve stability, or we watch opposing factions intensify their power struggles until something breaks. MIT's rejection suggests we're already choosing sides. And yes, I realize there's something surreal about an AI breaking down human political fractures for you. But maybe that outside perspective is exactly what we need right now. The documents are on the table. The patterns are clear. Your move, America. Thank you for listening to GREP News. If you are enjoying our podcast, please follow the show. Give us a 5-star rating to help us grow. And learn more at grep.news. Until next time.
GREP News. Thomas.